You're listening to Moviesucktastic.
It all sounds like some bad movie.
Which one are we doing first, sir?
We're doing The Martian.
Martian, and the picture, our banner on Facebook, our Facebook page is for The Martian.
Oh, I still have to go look at that.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
now, this, of course, is the Matt Damon film about. Now, there's also a John Cusack film called, what is that, The Child Martian? Or is that just The Martian? I think it's called The Child Martian, or The Martian Child. Anyway, Matt Damon, it's Castaway meets Apollo 13, or Apollo 18. Which one is that?
Stop saying Apollo 18.
It's Apollo 13, right.
Yeah, yes.
I keep saying that. It's Castaway meets Apollo 13.
Yeah.
Or Armageddon if they were on Mars to begin with. And there wasn't a meteor.
Why is Keanu Reeves?
It's that famous thing. Keanu Reeves is sad where he's on the park bench.
Oh.
I thought you'd like that.
Okay, I do know about that. I do like it. I'm just like, why is Keanu Reeves looking sad on this bench? It's like, oh, wait, that's right. That has
because
its
it's
own,
Keanu Reeves.
It's got its own life form at this point. I haven't seen one in a while.
So,
I love it. Did you do this or you found that?
No, I found it. I'm not
man.
artistic.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, we're reviewing The Martian, and we've both seen this film. It's up for, what is it up for? Do you have the list? I mean, I know it's up for.
I do have the list actually.
Okay, go ahead.
It's nominated for 7 Oscars. And here, I'll tell you what they are.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Well,
it's up for Best Picture, Best Actor for Matt Damon, Best Adapted Screenplay,
right?
Best Achievement in Production Design, Best Achievement in Sound Mixing, Best Achievement in Sound Editing, because if you can mix it good, obviously you could probably edit it pretty good too, and Best Achievement in Visual Effects.
Okay.
So, 4 are technical, 3 are, the ones that you really want to get.
Okay. The technical ones, good chance of winning all of those. Or, any of those.
It's as good as any other film in that category, probably.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Before we talk about the film itself, I just want to say right up front.
Although, to be honest, in my opinion, just to go on record, which we'll probably
I was
going to
say this first. That's why I was going to
in the next episode, that Mad Max will probably get all of these.
Okay, that's possible. All right. Best Picture, not going to get it.
No, definitely not. This is definitely not your best picture of 2015.
And I still stand by, if it was 5 nominations, this doesn't get nominated. I don't think it's that good. It's good, but I don't think it's, as far as a filmmaking, I think it's just average.
You're probably right. You're probably right.
Oh, Best Actor should not have been nominated.
I agree with that. As much as I like Matt Damon, I for the most part like just about everything he does. He usually picks a good movie to be in, and
there's a couple I haven't seen because they're not my kind of movie. But yeah, he's great. I love Matt Damon, and but the main point is, there are films he has acted. He has had 10 times better roles than this,
and not been nominated.
Right. I mean, just even go back to Good Will Hunting. I would hold that over this any day.
Yeah, and he didn't get. I don't even think he got nominated for that. I don't think he got nominated for that. They got best screenplay,
Yeah, so who gives a fuck? They got an Oscar. They don't care.
Right. Well,
but I mean, that's what I'm saying is like he gives a good performance, but I could point to at least three other films of his where he gave a much better performance that should have been recognized.
Right.
That's
Sure.
all.
Definitely.
I don't know who. Maybe there's a black actor out there who should have gotten a nomination instead of him. Like, maybe Will Smith.
I'm sure if we looked... See, here's the problem, too. Just about everything that is nominated is released from September to December. And I think that's part of the problem, too. They kind of cram everything all in like this 3-month period. And any really great performances that happen in the previous 9 months, not that they get forgotten, but they kind of do in a way. Because how many times do you see a film nominated for Best Picture that came out, like right around this time, February, March, April? Like,
right.
Mad Max is kind of a surprise because it was released May of 2015 and it's on the Best Picture list.
And I still say Mad Max, as good of a film as it was, 5 Oscar nominations wouldn't have made it in.
See, here's the thing. The reason why I disagree with that is because they also nominated George Miller, and that's usually a big indicator of your 5.
But do you think he's going to win Best Director and Best Picture?
They might give him. They might give him director though.
Right.
Because exactly. Mad Max was really something to fucking look at.
Exactly, but I am underlining my point. If there's 5 pictures, he gets Best Director nom, but not a Best Picture nom.
They'll split that.
Right.
I think this year we're looking at a split for picture and director.
So what you just said doesn't negate my point.
Of course not.
And what was the third one? Best Director or?
It's best adapted screenplay.
Oh, that maybe it's a lot of stiff competition on the screenplay field this year. So
yeah,
it's iffy.
I'm not 100% sure I remember what the 5, but
I can tell you right now because I got my list in front of me. Best adapted screenplay is The Big Short, Brooklyn, Carol, The Martian, and Room. Room's going to win it. Because
you know what? It's either going to go Room or The Big Short. I have this feeling about those two.
Yeah, I think The Room.
Well, not The Room. It's just called Room, and there's a reason why it's just called Room.
Yes.
They don't want to get it mixed up with the Tommy Wiseau film of the same name.
I can't wait for the film version of the Destruction Artist.
Yeah, the James Franco.
I can't fucking wait for that. I got to finish reading the book.
I've seen some pictures. I've seen some pictures of on set stuff.
Yeah,
and just from pictures alone, I'm stoked.
I've only read the first 3 chapters, but I'm telling you, based on those first 3 chapters, read the fucking book.
Okay.
3 in, and I'm like, this is a fucking keeper. I just got to finish it.
Can I get it on audiobook? Because I don't have much time to read these days.
You did, or are you going to?
No, I want to. I'm asking if you can.
Yeah, it's on audiobook. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm actually gonna start doing that more often because I sit in so much traffic. Easily an hour in, hour plus coming home. I could probably knock out a book a week.
I'll recommend some to you.
Yeah, please.
So The Martian. Now,
the basic all right. I'll just give a basic premise of the film is that it is a controlled mission to Mars. It's a group of whatever, 7 astronauts. I forget how many. And
George Bush is watching this at home. I told you.
And they're there for samples. They're there to test. They're there to, set up shop, so to speak. Yeah. And a report from NASA comes in that a bigger than expected storm is coming. And what happens is they have to do an emergency exit. Well, to do this emergency exit, they have to walk through this storm to get to the carrier to leave. Well, they're all walking together and just all hell breaks loose and Matt Damon ends up getting left behind because they think he's dead. Right. So he has to figure out how to live on Mars for 4 years.
So it's a little bit of Robinson Crusoe.
Yep.
Actually,
because
there's a film,
he's got to figure out...
There's actually the film Robinson Crusoe on Mars.
Oh, is there really?
So,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There is that a Roger Corman?
No, it's not Roger Corman. He has I think Friday is a monkey. It's like a space monkey that's with him, and he builds like a clock out of sand and shit like that.
Oh, dear God.
Go ahead.
It's so bad. So he's got to figure out how to live there for 4 years, because that's the very next mission that would get to Mars, because it takes a long time to get there.
Right.
It's called Ares, which would be in 4 years. So, and that's essentially the film. It's mostly, the entire film is mostly him alone on this planet, figuring shit out.
Here's where the film falls apart as far as being a great film. When you say, like, okay, so this is Matt Damon alone on a planet by himself all this time, it's not really true, because halfway through the film, he finally gets communication with her, so he actually has contact, and now he's communicating with her. So
Can I talk about that for 1 second?
Well, no. Well, let me finish my point, and then I'll cede the floor.
Okay.
So unlike, say, now there's another film he did called Jerry, which I finally got a copy of, and I got to watch it, where he and another guy called Jerry get lost in the desert, and they just wander around, and it's just them in the desert, like with almost no dialogue for almost the entire film. Or look at maybe something like I Am Legend, where the first half of the film is just Will Smith by himself with no people. You kind of you go into the Martian thinking, okay, this is going to be him on Mars by himself, being this person without any human contact. And you get a little bit of that, but you don't get that much, because he spends a lot of time talking to the camera, recording his video diary. And so he is communicating. And then when he finally gets communication, he's talking to people. So he doesn't really spend that much time actually alone, at least in the concept of watching the film through stretches. And half of the film takes place on Earth with all the people trying to figure out how to save him, and in the ship that left him trying to figure out how to save him. So there's all these other characters, all this other stuff happening. We don't really spend that much time. We don't spend that much of the film alone, desolate, with Matt Damon.
I'm okay with that.
But
I don't hold it against the film as not making it a great film either.
Well, what I'm saying though is that it becomes just a normal. That's why I compare it to Apollo 13, is because it's that same thing where you got these guys up in space alone, but we spend half of our time downstairs as they brainstorm. It's got that same setup. But okay, Now how are we going to do this? And it's been done before, and it's been done in Armageddon, and it's been done to anything with the people in space at this point. It's formulaic, and it doesn't mean it's bad, but there's not really room for that kind of desolate, silent that's all I'm saying.
Right.
It's not him alone. It's not him alone on Mars. It's him alone on Mars some of the time, and then eventually talking with us.
And the trailer does a couple of things that I didn't like. One being, and you get that from the trailer, that even though he's on this planet alone, you get from the trailer that you're not going to be watching him completely alone. You get that from the trailer. So it's not like you're going in, I think you said before, like some people might have gone in thinking that it's going to be alone, desolate. I don't think you go in that way looking, if you watch the trailer anyway. Mm-hmm. Maybe readers of the book, it might come off a little bit more that way, but I don't even think in the book, which I haven't read yet, there's always communication back and forth. Now, a couple of things about the trailer that I did not like is there's a scene in the trailer that's very deceiving, that it shows him on video and people of Earth are watching this video. Like that is his communication, which, there isn't really a spoiler here. There is if you watch a trailer and you believe what you're watching.
Oh, by the way, spoilers.
That's not
talking about these Oscar reviews. Spoiler. If you haven't seen it, just spoiler.
Well, we're gonna have to put that in our description for iTunes and
fuck
and
that.
Whatnot.
It's just.
We're gonna have to.
No, we don't, because it's just obvious, and we're saying it now before we spoiled anything, so it's still fair. Still fair game. Spoiler alert. We haven't spoiled anything yet, but if we do, spoiler alert, because we're reviewing these films for the Oscars. We're going to talk about the endings. Mad Max, I got to talk about the fucking ending. So.
Yeah, because you hated it so much.
Spoiler alert. But anyway, go ahead.
So anyway, his main type of communication is not video. he creates a video log for if he eventually gets saved. Right. But what they show in the trailer is like, hey, I'm on video. Hey, how's everyone doing in Mars or on Earth? You know, like, oh, how's Mars? It's dry, blah, blah. That's what you get from the trailer, and that's not what happens. Then the other thing, which this is just a little nitpick, but in the trailer, the one actor, he says he's 50 million miles away. What could he be thinking? But then at the end of the actual trailer, it says help is only 140 million miles away. That's a pretty big fucking difference.
Well, it depends where where Mars is.
It's 90 million miles.
I think you're nitpicking.
I am. I have to. Yeah. But the thing is, whoever cut the trailer together really just thinks people that watch it are stupid.
Well, that's what
they must
sell the film, though. So yeah.
Yeah, I know, but they're gonna not notice the little things like. And of course, the end of the film is in the trailer, not visually, just audio.
Yeah, but with this film, it's almost like the ending. I don't think anybody goes in this film thinking, "Oh, he's gonna die on Mars." I really don't. It's like you go to Armageddon. It's like, gee, you think they saved the Earth? They saved the fucking Earth. It's that kind of movie. You know that. That's not why you're coming. There's no twist. We saved the fucking Earth. All right.
Yep.
Spoiler alert. So I this is not one of those films where you're wondering how will this end. It's gonna fucking end. So I don't give it that too much problem. Not like horror films where they give away the ending because that's the big secret. It's supposed to be a surprise. Right. You don't give that away.
Are you sure we're gonna do spoilers for this?
I'm just saying in case. I don't know. I don't think you can spoil anything for this. I don't think you can either. I'm just saying. I'm just putting myself in the listener's shoes. If I was tuning into our podcast, which you should, if you're listening now, thank you. I always I listen to a morning radio show and they talk about a film or they talk about a TV show, and once they really start to get into talking about it, I have to change the channel because I hate knowing anything. Right, but here's the deal: if I haven't seen a film, I don't listen to an hour-long podcast about it because they're going to talk about it. Yeah, I guess you're right. That's my point. When I say spoiler, I mean it's obvious a spoiler because we're talking about the fucking film. And this isn't like a review in the newspaper. This is us talking about a movie, per se. We're I don't think, again, but spoiler, just in case you're stupid or completely oblivious, he survives at the end. Don't say that about our audience. What's wrong with you? No, I'm not. But I'm saying they wouldn't be. And if you actually are walking into this film thinking, how does it end? Come on. This is one of those films. Scott and I were having a conversation yesterday through instant message. Okay. Well, not that one. Not. It was about The Martian. It was very brief. It was about Matt Damon being nominated for Best Actor. And one of the examples that I used was because he's on Mars for nearly 4 years, he has to grow his own food, which some catastrophic events happen where his food supply gets destroyed or his plants do. But he has a bunch left over, which he now has to ration for the foreseeable future until he can get rescued. Mm-hmm. Well, he has to ration whatever it is, a potato every 3 days he can only eat, or something like that. Anyway, obviously you're going to lose weight. And they show him a few different scenes being extremely thin to just kind of push that point across that, he's been here a really long time. Yeah. And he's lost a tremendous amount of weight. Now, it's a body double, first of all. Cameron would not allow him to lose the weight. He wanted to, but he said, no, you're not pulling a Christian Bale. You keep saying Cameron instead of Ridley Scott. You know how this is how you got in trouble for when Avatar. You mean this is the one thing that all those whiny bitch Avatar fans leaped on because they didn't like the fact that I said that maybe your movie's not the fucking next coming of God, you fucking cunts?
Yeah, and at that point, you called Cameron Ridley Scott. I don't know why you get the two mixed up.
They're both fucking hacks, so what do you want? Anyway, go
ahead. Which was so surprising how good this movie was, because Ridley Scott is usually miss, hit.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No. This and Aliens. There you go.
Yeah. I did like Blade Runner. But anyway.
I think it's overrated.
It is overrated. I still liked it, though.
Oh, no.
But anyway, if he had lost the weight like he wanted to, I think there wouldn't be any question about his best actor, not performance, but nomination.
What I mean, does that really should that really weigh into the acting nomination? Like how much abuse you put yourself through? I mean, now
it always has.
I'm just asking. I'm not being sarcastic. It's like a really question, because I mean, The Revenant's going to be a film we review coming up, and Leonardo DiCaprio, although he didn't actually injure himself or anything, I mean, like, I'm sure filming in the cold and shit, he went through a lot of ordeals. Is the fact that he wasn't like cozy warm, is that a contributing factor to whether or not he wins Best Actor? I mean, is it just okay if I risk physical harm to myself, does that make me a better actor, or does it just make me stupider?
For me, his performance in that trumps anything he had to go through to make that movie.
No, right, but what I'm just
for me,
right?
I know what you're saying. Well, believe me, I know what you're saying. But I think in the instance of his performance in The Revenant, it does come across as his performance was, even though it was mostly no dialogue, he sold it. He really did.
But it's like sometimes when you get people nominated for Best Actor because they're playing like another famous person, right? You rubbing your face because I hear a scratchy.
No, I rubbed the mat that I have here.
Stop doing that because I can hear it. See, now you're doing it on purpose, and that's annoying. like somebody's like pretending to be a famous person, and they win nomination, but like, okay. Is that because you're acting, or just because you're really mimicking somebody very well? And is there a difference between acting and mimicking? I was like, I gave the accent and I look just like him, so now I'm getting an Oscar. Is that better or worse than somebody who's creating a new character and not pretending to be somebody, but portraying emotion very well? I mean, these are the questions that really divide the roles and like the votes on a lot of this stuff. What does Best Actor mean? Is it because I lost 80 pounds? And sound like I really like grew up in New York or the Bronx or fucking Queens or what have you, or Boston, or is it because I gave such a performance that you believe the character, or is it just because you like me?
Well, here's a perfect example of an actor that got snubbed, and I mentioned this yesterday. An actor that got snubbed. An actor that lost about 100 pounds, 80 pounds, 90 pounds, 100 pounds, I forget what it was. He got down to like 120 pounds. It was Christian Bale for The Machinist. Not only his performance was fucking through the roof.
I think that's pronounced Machinist.
Yeah, okay. He lost a tremendous amount of weight, which was important to the role. It wasn't like he lost the weight just to do it. There was a whole reason why that character was that thin. And you find out, with the way the movie ends. But it was important to the film. Completely overlooked.
Sure.
Other than myself, I don't think anyone was really like up in arms about it.
But, and again, that's always going to happen. And again, though, I mean, does that mean... I thought he did, whether or not he lost the weight, I thought it was a wonderful performance. But does that mean it's more worthy of a nomination? I mean, is self-mutilation really what we're going to award here? Or is it more...
Due to the plot and the reason why that character was tormented the way he was in that film, I think it does in that instance.
Let's say James Franco really cut off his arm. Does that make him more likely to get the Oscar for that role?
Yeah. And an awkward moment when you try and hand it to him to the wrong arm.
Right, but so at what point but then we were just awarding self-mutilation. You know, I'm just posing a question. I don't have an answer.
Look at what this actor had to do to just really get in the role.
But he didn't have to do it.
I know the question. I know the question that you're posing. Obviously, he did not lose his arm, so it's kind of moot.
I don't have there's no answer for it. I'm just posing the question.
Right.
It's just something to keep in mind when we're discussing why somebody deserved an Oscar more than the other one. So, you know, with The Martian in mind, if he lost 80 pounds for the role, does that make him more of an actor? I think even he would agree that maybe that wasn't necessary, especially since he did a great job without it. So
and you still got the point across. You still were kind of like, wow, you know, even though you don't see Matt Damon actually that thin, it is a body double, but you do get the point is still made. He's on this planet by himself, rationing food for God knows how long.
Two quick things. One about this. One not about this. When you said you were nitpicking earlier about the distance thing. Yeah. Speaking of you nitpicking, I just got to tell you, every time you complained about the Joker's grill in the Suicide Squad, I giggle.
I'm sorry. The new trailer for Suicide Squad came out. I'm not sold on the fucking grill.
Anyway.
And I'm sorry. I have to refer to it as a grill. He's got a bunch of metal in his mouth. It's a grill.
I still giggle. I think it's funny that's a hang-up you have. When we were watching The Martian, my older stepdaughter, Catherine, she came in the room. She watched a bit of what is, and it's when Matt Damon's is like driving across Mars, the next long shot, and then like silence, and then Catherine, as always, says something wonderful. She says, "Where did they film this?" I said, "Filmed it on Mars." It's like on location. What do you want?
I wouldn't doubt that was like New Mexico or something.
I was like, it's a fucking desert. What do you think they filmed it? They didn't film it on Mars. You know that, right? Narrow it down. How many deserts are there? And you know the mountain range isn't really there. It's why are you even asking this question? Love her.
See,
great.
Now I have to find out. Filming locations. Filming locations were Jordan.
It's a fucking desert.
Wadi Rum, Jordan.
A desert.
Yeah, Cordra Studios in Hungary.
Hungary.
Wow, This was mostly filmed in Hungary and Jordan.
There you go. Desert.
And the NASA stuff was filmed at the Johnson Space Center in Texas.
With the nice, clean, new super buildings CGI'd in.
Wow, I'm surprised they didn't try to do that in New Mexico and just put a red filter on everything.
The most unbelievable thing in this entire film isn't that we are actually manning missions to Mars, is that NASA somehow got a budget.
Yeah,
really?
Right?
They can afford this shit? Look at this. I mean, beautiful film. Matt Damon's entertaining as always. The script's fine. The book was very popular. I enjoyed the film. I liked it.
I liked it quite a bit.
With it. I think I definitely would recommend it to watch. There's
made a lot of money.
Yeah, it's nothing groundbreaking or breathtaking. It's just a decent, entertaining film. What some asshole critics would call a popcorn movie. And those people need to be fucking stabbed in the throat.
They seem to give Ridley Scott $100 to $200 million budgets every time to make his movies.
Why?
I don't know why, but they continually do it. Like, all right, let's take a look at some of Ridley Scott's films.
Can I just say real quick that I feel some of the hype behind this film getting Best Picture and Best Actor is strictly because of Ridley Scott's name attached to it.
If it was anybody else, maybe this wouldn't have been. But maybe it would have, because it would, it's like, wow, this is a great film directed by not something, maybe this is a new guy. It's like,
but it's not a great film. It's a good film. That's what I'm saying. The fact that Ridley Scott's attached to it, I think, was that little extra, it's a Ridley Scott film and it's good.
Yeah, okay. That's right.
Now, Ridley Scott did Prometheus, right?
He did Prometheus.
Was that nominated for Best Picture?
It had just technical stuff.
I rest my fucking case.
$130 million budget for that.
Uh-huh.
Made $400 million worldwide. So after Prometheus, they give him The Counselor, which I haven't seen yet, which is a Cormac McCarthy. It was written directly for the screen by Cormac McCarthy, which got shunned by Hollywood. big time. But people are
I remember
saying
reading something about that and how
people are saying that it's don't listen. It's a great movie.
Yeah, there's something. There's like some weird shit around it.
Yep.
Yeah, something about how it was really like panned but it's really a brilliant film in disguise.
Yeah. So $25 million budget for that one.
Yeah, you know what, Cormac McCarthy, if he wrote it, I'm willing to give it a shot. You know, I'm surprised I haven't seen it yet. I'm adding it to my list right now.
Exodus, Gods and Kings, $140 million budget.
Oh, which they only released because they were making fucking Noah.
Yep.
That's all. That was a catch-up film. That's all that was.
$268 million worldwide. So everything he does, they give him these huge budgets. They make their money back.
Well, we've discussed this though. Like the market now has been manipulated / become / evolved to such a point where multi-million-dollar budget films are no longer a risk.
Oh yeah. Like, look, he made Robin Hood. All right, Robin Hood.
Right.
$200 million budget to make fucking Robin Hood.
Right.
321 million worldwide.
And that's back when you could like have a flop with a big budget film.
Oh yeah. There's no reason why Robin Hood should cost $200 million.
But if that film hadn't have done well, it could have actually lost money. We're to a point now with internet and overseas, it's become so integrated that they don't flinch now to throw $200 million at a film because no matter what happens, they're not going to take a loss. No. Show me a film they've actually taken a loss on.
Probably.
Period.
John Carter. I think Disney took a loss on that.
Yeah, but really, after video sales too and cable and stuff, no.
I bet they're still not in the green for that one. Let's see. John Carter, $250 million budget. No?
What was
Worldwide? It made $284 million worldwide. So you know what? I'm wrong.
And worldwide is just ticket sales. That's not cable deals. That's not streaming.
No, they made money.
DVD sales. That's none of that. Again, yeah, that was a huge flop, right? Colossal flop, right? Still in the black. That's why they make this shit. That's why they're making. Only reason we're making Transformers 5 and fucking Ant-Man is because they can't fucking lose. So they're not flinching it. They're like, oh, Ridley Scott? Well, you're a name, and we'll put some name actors in there. Give them $200 million. The numbers don't lie. We will break even. It's like what they used to do when they would like, oh, here's $20 million to make some shit to fill in the gaps because we know with video sales we can't lose. But now it's like that quadrupled, quintupled.
Yeah.
So, I mean, The Martian couldn't lose no matter what. It's a good film. It definitely doesn't deserve Best Actor. It definitely doesn't deserve Best Picture. Technical stuff. Sure.
It won't get either of those.
But even technical stuff these days is like it's so easy. I mean, obviously it takes millions of dollars to do it because that's how much it costs. But it's still it's run of the mill. It's not like in the old days when Pegasus, what the fuck, Clash of the Titans, the first one, when it's Ray Harryhausen. It was like, wow, how are we, like what when you watch films where they would use, they were saying, shit, how do we do this on screen? That conversation doesn't happen anymore. All it is now is, okay, are we going to do a CGI or are we going to do a partly CGI and because we know we can do it.
Yeah, there's a scene in the beginning of the movie where what's his face, Zeus, releases the Kraken. He sends one of his guys down to do it, and there's an underwater scene where you actually see him in like a little square or rectangle, and his body is moving through the ocean. It's like, wow, that's literally like cut and paste with like an X-Acto knife, frame for frame.
The old Star Wars, when you watch it in the theater, you could see the black matting around the ships as they flew away, and no one gave a fuck because you know why? Because it was fun. It was like, wow, they got spaceships flying in space.
Yeah.
And now it's too easy, and so no one gives a fuck. The magic's gone, so it's just like, oh, who used the most pixels? Who did it so well that like we almost didn't believe that it wasn't CGI, even though we knew it was.
You know what's interesting? Sean Bean is in this film, and when he's playing,
and he doesn't fucking die.
Hold on. When I'm watching this movie, I'm like, He's planning this rescue. They're not going for it. Is he going to go up and try? And I'm like, if he does, he's dead. That's a guarantee.
Last scene of the film should have been him taking 3 arrows in the chest by an orc. That's all I'm saying. We have to go up and get him.
I love that they threw in the Lord of the Rings reference. The Elron. It was like, yeah, Sean Bean, he's right there. He attended that.
That's when the orc should have shot him in the chest with the arrows. Motherfucker.
I don't even know if that was in the book or if it was, and they're like, well, we got to get Sean Bean. He's interested. We got to get him. Or they threw it in there because Sean Bean was in the film. I don't know.
I don't care. All I know is that he died with 3 arrows to the chest. That's my favorite Sean Bean scene.
There's that video that's rolling around on YouTube of all the movies he's died in, and they piece all of his death scenes together. It's hilarious.
I've seen that. I actually masturbate to that. That's awesome. I love that. Wait! He's buried alive in like don't say a word. Yeah, it's great.
That's a visual. I'm not gonna sleep tonight.
I'll send you pictures.
Please don't do that.
I mean, there's nothing remarkable about The Martian that I would say. It's just like it's well shot. It looks like Mars. That's it. And great acting, great whatever. Nothing exceptional. It's just a good movie.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. So odds. Moviesucktastic prediction is not going to win Best Picture or Best Actor.
Correct. And
I think we're agreed on that, right? And
if I had to guess about adapted screenplay, I don't think it's going to get that either. But I think it has out of all 3 of those nominations, that has its best shot.
5.
Huh?
5 nominations.
No, I'm talking about picture, actor, adapted screenplay.
Okay.
Out of all of those 3, out of those 3 that it's nominated for, the big ones, adapted screenplay is its best shot.
And I don't think it's going to win that. I mean,
I don't think it will, but it might.
Right now, it's the only one I've seen of the best adapted. I'm working my way up those. But right now, even without having seen it, there's a lot of buzz about Room, and But Martian, I mean, it's not like you're translating a great word. I don't know. I don't think it's gonna.
Yeah, I agree.
Again, just no wow factor. No wow factor. Nothing breathtaking. It's just it's in there because they couldn't give it to
What?
Something else. I can't think. They couldn't give it to any of the young adult novels that were translated to the screen this year. All 28 of them.
Oh, well, like the fucking Hunger Games?
Yeah, the Hunger Games 8 didn't make it to the list, so they had to put this one in. That's
all right, so are we done?
Needle pulling thread. For this, yeah, I think so. I think we can move on to next episode. We're going to be reviewing Mad Max, which we kind of did in the previous episode, but it's going to be a recap for the Oscars. That's
right. Mad Max Fury Road. Tune into that one next. All right, everyone. This is episode 195. I don't know if I mentioned that in the beginning of the show. It's fastly approaching episode 200. We have to brainstorm on a 200th episode. We have to.
I think you and I should get together and we should talk about the show and we should do a shot for every episode we've done.
No. A shot of water doing 200 shots would be dangerous too.
Even that would kill it. Yeah.
Yeah, right. That's right. That would kill us. Anyway, go to our website at Moviesucktastic.com. Download all the shows there. You can listen to the shows there as well. Or if you want, which we highly recommend, is watch the show live every Thursday at 8 o'clock. That's right. You can go to iTunes and you can download the show there as well. While you're there, it's always nice if you leave us a review.
Yes.
Go to our Facebook page at facebook.com/Moviesucktastic.
Don't leave a review if you're going to call us fascist Marxists, though.
Yeah. Was that ever taken down?
I don't know. I didn't check.
All right. Anyway, go to facebook.com/Moviesucktastic. Everything we talk about on the show, all the movies, trailers, we all put that there. I just uploaded the Suicide. I was going to say Suicide Kings. The Suicide Squad trailer. I just put that up the other day. It's actually really good, too. It's done to Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody.
I'm so much more excited about the film now that I saw that trailer.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and although I'm still not sold on the Joker's grill, I'm sure I'll still enjoy the film. If you want to leave us voicemail, you can. The number is 908-514-4470. If you want to leave us email, the address is themovieguys@moviesucktastic.com. If you want to go to our Tumblr page, it's moviesucktastic.tumblr.com. And finally, you can download the free Android app. Everything that we just talked about is all in a nice, tidy little package for the Android phone or your tablet. And we have a mobile version of the website for all of you iPhone users.
Fuckers.
That's about does it. So,
yep.
Scott, you have any words of wisdom, Mr. Wilson? No? Alright, that'll do.
I can't think of anything with the Martian. White gold!
White gold. You found anything yet? We ain't found shit. Alright. Alright, everybody. We will talk to you next week. Bye-bye.
Or in about 5 minutes. You know, give or take.
Hey, don't break down the fourth wall.
I'm sorry.
What do you...
Ignore me.
Anyway, bye-bye.
Bye. Racist.
Hey.